Hello, everyone. My name is Jacqueline with She Rises Studios, and welcome to today's Light the Torch ceremony. We are fired up to celebrate the powerful and transformative release of Unleash Her. The Next Chapter Begins, a bold collaborative book led by Hannah Olivas and joined by 21 inspiring women. This isn't just a book, it's a movement. It's for every woman who's ever felt stuck, silenced, or small, and is now ready to rise, reclaim her story, and rewrite the rules. Through raw stories, real tools, and unapologetic empowerment, Unleash Her calls every woman to take up space, speak her truth, and step boldly into her next chapter. So let's light the torch and celebrate the authors behind this unstoppable women. Today we are joined by some of these incredible women. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining. Why don't we go around and briefly introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background and what inspired you to join this collaborative project?
I can go ahead and start. I'm Carmen Mendel in Baxter, Minnesota, and I live with my hubby and our 16-year-old son. We are a husband wife team. We run Nate's Property Maintenance LLC together and with our NPM team, of course, of workers. And I was inspired to do this project because, as I share a little bit more in depthly, there was one incident that was kind of the springboard, so to speak, that led me into actually owning and operating Mendel Fitness Gym and Spa for 8 years. So I was looking at a very negative incident that happened. However, it brought so much, joy to so many women as I opened that gym. So I'll be sharing a little bit about that today. But I was just encouraged. And also, I believe that God guides and directs me. I make my plans, but God guides my steps. So,
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmen. What's to go next? Maybe I can call him Kim.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sonia McDonald, and I'm just really excited to be in this book with all of these amazing authors. It was such a privilege to be in this book. The title just said it all. Unleash her. The next chapter begins, because it really truly does. When we are completely unleashed from what we've been through, and my whole journey really started in my early 30s, and I talk about that in this book. And my title is A Cage No More, and I was living in a cage, literally, of not a physical one, but just in emotional, mental, with having illnesses that just completely had me stay home and not, pretty much leave the house for quite a long time. And then COVID hit, and it was just years of it. So this book really just inspired me, because it helped me to release that and just learn that we don't have to become our illness. And so that really just led me on a whole journey of changing my life and turning into a coach from all of this. After going through everything as a nurse, I changed career paths and want to inspire other women now. So it's been a really exciting thing being a part of this book.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Sonia.
I love it. That's my chapter as well, is from going from a health crisis to like really shifting and changing my life to, okay, God, what do you want of me now? How can I figure out what I should and can do at this point in time? And in my case, I had a health crash. I had been a counselor for over 30 years, and with a health crash from COVID, just resetting my whole life in a way where I just didn't even know, what am I going to be able to do, because I didn't know if I could do that for the rest of my life either. But as I was getting better, knowing that I needed to get out of the house, my chapter is actually about my daughter and I getting out of the house and doing something fun to kind of get my life back on track of like, okay, what is the new norm? And how can, we reach other people and encourage them as well? And so as we did, my daughter actually ended up starting a business out of that. And so I just want to encourage people that, sometimes when you're going through health journeys or other crisis in your life, that you just have no idea like how God could take and use you for something different or something better. And out of that just came multiple things. And then I began writing as well. And so it just was like all these things began to happen. And so I'm honored to be here with all these amazing women. But I agree, this book just says it all. It's that new chapter, that unleashing that the value of that you still have something inside of you. And no matter who listens to this or reads this book, I hope that that's what they get out of that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Erica.
I can go next. I am Gina Marisa, and kind of like Sonia and Erica said, really the title of the book really spoke to me. And then when I kind of read further about, the purpose behind the title, I was just like, well, that's me. I'm in. So my chapter is all about really the kind of major changes that I've made in my life since I turned 50. And it's kind of continuing on. And it was so exciting just to even, go back and write about it and think about the things that I've done. I think so many times we don't even, and I fall prey to this, it's like, gosh, what did I even do last month? Did I do anything? Did I make any progress? So I've actually started writing things down so that I can go back at least, once a year and say, wow, I actually did accomplish a lot and I've done a lot of things. And, so that's kind of where I'm coming from, and just to, encourage other women to, at any stage of life, that you can be unleashed and you can do great things. So happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, we are happy to have you, Gina. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all. My name is Hannah, and I'm an award-winning holistic healer, certified grief educator, and a trauma-informed practitioner. This title just really jumped out at me as well, and having read the first book, which was absolutely incredible, as soon as I knew there was going to be a second, I was like, I have to be involved in this, because this is just going to be something really special. My chapter is called Unleash Your Grief, Unleash Your Power, and it's all about finding the hidden gold in the darkest moments of our life, and how that through courage and really digging deep and allowing ourselves to feel our emotions and explore our inner world, that we can really then truly unleash our own inner power.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you. Yes, Kim.
Hi, I am Kim Rendon, and I am a dietitian by day, and I get to be a health coach by night, working with menopausal women, perimenopausal women. And my purpose is with being here is as my children grew up and left the home, and my life had been centered around everything we did with them for 14 years. I kind of lost myself, and my husband left. And so it was trying to find myself over the past few years and who I've become and who I am not anymore. And my purpose with doing this is I talk about, as I'm talking like to the menopausal, perimenopausal women, is that this is not the beginning of the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. And there's healing in different ways. And you need to go through all those healings in order to unleash yourself and start your new chapter.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Kim. Yes, last but not the least, Kayla.
Hi, my name is Kayla Nike, and I am a full-time single mom and a full-time author. And what inspired me to take part in this book is that I have spent many years learning about personal growth and working on myself. And I just want to be able to take what I've learned and share that with other people. And my chapter is basically about how we can sometimes get caught up conforming to what society thinks we should be and breaking out of that and unapologetically becoming our own person.
Great. Awesome. Well, this book is described as a movement. What does that mean to you? And what impact do you ladies hope that it creates? Would like to take a knack out of it.
I'll
Oh,
go. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Somebody else say that. So I think that a lot of times we as women tend to hold back moving forward together, moving forward in a new direction in a limelight, right? Like we often tend to be on the back burner and we make sure everybody else is taken care of first. We're
Mhm.
caregivers by nature, and I really feel like this was kind of one of those things of saying, hey, I don't care who you are, you have purpose, you have drive, you have something to say to the world, and you need to be known and seen and heard, and your story needs to be out there. And I think when you come together like this as women, each of us tap into a different story that affects a different woman of what she's going through, and even young girls. So, like, I hope that even young girls, my daughter's age in their early 20s, they pick something like this up and go, oh, wow, that gives me so much hope, so much understanding of what I can do in my life or do something different. Or if they find themselves in a place or space like any of us have been in, where you have to find a different journey because your health, something crashes and you have to go on a new journey. I hope that the people reading this, that that's what they get, that encouragement of, unleash that amazing woman inside of you, because there's more.
And I was going to say something along the same lines. What I hope to get out of this book is that I want to reach women who are unsure about moving forward with their lives because of whatever reason. They don't want to step on toes. They don't want to be too loud. They don't want to hurt feelings. But I want to inspire others to make some noise and to be uniquely themselves.
I
Awesome. Awesome.
I
Yes,
completely
Carmen, go ahead.
agree. I kind of feel like we're probably all going to kind of say the same thing because of the purpose of the book, right? So I want, women to know that, I remember being in my 30s, my mid 30s, I think, when I learned about Louise Hay and how she
Mm.
started her publishing company when she was 60, and that just gave me such inspiration. And so don't let age be a factor is what I hope that women, older and younger, take out of this. So
That's true. Thank you, Lena. Yes, Sonia.
I'd just like to say that we're always continually becoming who we're supposed to be, and so our past doesn't define who we are going to be in the future. We're constantly growing. So I feel like telling the children, us as our own selves, to love ourselves more because of what we've whatever our past is or whatever our bodies have done, or health, or not even just health, but just anything that we get that doesn't define us, and we can still learn to fly, and we don't have to just
Mm.
stay broken in whatever we've been through. So it's just really empowering to give that message as a movement, to let people know that they're not defined by anything they've been through. I think because we tell ourselves a lot of stories, so.
Oh, sorry. I think Carmen, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I would say the same thing along the same lines as Sonia. With my situation, I actually had an incident where creepy men followed me out of a
Mm.
gym over to a grocery store. There were 3 of them, and it was very scary. And I had just signed up for a lifetime membership with this commercial gym. And, I was getting everything in line and thought, okay, well, I got my health plan on track. And then I completely retracted from that. I never wanted to set foot in a public gym again after that experience. I'm here, obviously, to tell about it. So, things turned out okay. You'll have to read the book to find out what happened. But I really want women not to be fearful about things and have things that happen to them in life. I want them to be able to take that. God is the opposite of fear. And if we realize that and we can really use that to, propel forward and make plans in life and have God direct our steps, I really believe he took me from that. And that incident alone helped me create a gym in our home and then get my certified, fitness trainer license. A couple years later, get my master's in nutrition and also a DNA testing and analysis, and train over 50 ladies in an 8-year period of time. And just the amazing things that happen that, like Sonia said, if we don't let that fearful thing define us, God takes things that might be negative or might be less desirable and he changes them for his glory. So I just would encourage, all women just to, power through.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, this particular book promises real tools and mindset shifts. What's one practical strategy from the book that women can start applying today?
I'll start.
Yes.
I actually defined a couple of keys to self-confidence that I used in training these women in the gym. So, one, recognize what you excel at, build positive relationships, be kind to yourself, learn to be assertive, learn to say no, give yourself challenges, surround yourself with positive people, take care of your body, practice positive self-talk, face your fears, be in competition with only yourself, and stop comparing yourself to other people. So in a nutshell, just be absolutely, happy with who you are and claim it, your identity in Christ, who you are.
I love that. I love that.
And I just want to emphasize just having compassion for yourself along the path, because we're human and we're flawed and it's not always going to be easy, but just having compassion for ourselves gets us a long way.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, what maybe I can ask Kim and Hannah, what did writing this book help you unleash in yourself?
It made me realize my power in myself and everything I've been through. Because, well, that back to that self-confidence that Carmen talked about, is not having that and having that identity of, being the mom, being the wife, being the, athletic booster vice president, I centered myself around everybody and everything that we did. And when it was suddenly just me and going through my healing journey, it was like, wow, the power and the confidence and what I had to be able to start that journey, first of all, to admit that I needed all that help and become who I am now, and being able to share that with the world and that it is possible.
Wonderful.
I think it's to share a little bit about my story in the book. You'll have to read it to find out more, but it's more my chapter is kind of about, I would say, how we kind of learn to bury our self-worth, and that by turning inward, facing our limiting beliefs that are formed through what the experiences that we've been through, that we can really discover the true transformation that lies within us, and how healing our grief and healing these experiences we've been through really unlock our inner strength. And by stop burying our pain and honoring it, we can really unleash the light that's within us. And and that's where our true power lies. We always kind of taught to look outside for the answers, but really to unleash our power, we need to look within.
That's great. That's great. Well, this time around, I'll go around the book. I'll go around the room, and I'll ask you. This book is a rallying cry. In one word, what is one message that you would want every woman who reads this book to walk away with? I'll start with Carmen. I think you're on mute again.
I keep muting myself because I don't want distraction noise. I would say resilience. I really think that's important. Just whatever we encounter in life, first of all, too, we lean not on our own understanding. We don't know necessarily why things are happening in life, and just to trust God and to know that He has a plan for us.
Love that. That's great. Kim?
I think I'm going back to power, and that we have it in us to do what we need to do. And we just need to dig down and find that power within ourselves.
Wonderful. Gina?
I'm going to go with strength. I feel like, when I was younger, I was always kind of just going along with what everybody else, said or did. I had a group of friends, and, we would get together monthly and go to a different restaurant. And I would always, say, oh, we can go wherever, wherever you want to go. And I didn't speak up for myself. So I want women to know that they have the strength to be who they are and to stand up for themselves.
Awesome. Erica?
I would say masterpiece. You are a masterpiece. And all of the mess is just part of the Picasso that God is creating you to be.
Awesome. Kayla?
I'm going to go with boundaries. It's okay to put yourself first.
Perfect. Hannah?
I would say courage, because it takes a lot of courage to be able to stand up for ourselves and to really look inside ourselves and ask ourselves those really hard questions. And this is what I want to inspire people to do in this book, because I want them to know that the answers to those questions lie within themselves, not outside of themselves.
Love that. I love that. Sonia?
I have a 2-word tie, but it's in my chapter title, but I would say unapologetic first. Really just owning your truth, and unshakable, like really finding the light within, so that you're not letting anybody dim that light, because mine was dimmed for so long. A lot of us have a dim light for a while, but it's really within us. And I think just realizing that we really can do anything, and we're made for more. So I think just really owning that is really empowering, and letting go of the perfectionism and the things that keep us like locked in a cage, and it really is freeing. We think having more control is like we have more control over things that makes us feel like we're doing better. But actually, when we release that control, it's just so much more peaceful, So I think just learning that about ourselves and teaching that or sharing that with others took me, I'm 54. It took me a long time to get there, but it's nice to teach our kids or others so they don't have to go through all that pain for so long,
I love that. I love that word, unapologetic. Any final words of encouragement for the women that's stepping into their next chapter right now? I would like to give some words of encouragement.
I would say buy this book, because there are so many incredible stories, and this is just, those of us that are here today are just a handful of the authors. Truly, the book is just a compilation of so many fabulous women who are showing you that more is possible and that you can do more than you think you can.
My piece of advice is that if you have a desire nagging at you, to go for it, because you never know where it could take you.
My piece of advice is to find your identity in Christ first and foremost. That will lead into other things.
I would say,
I would say, oh, go ahead.
No, I would say believe in yourself, just dig deep and believe that you can do it, and you can literally do anything.
I would say ask yourself, what do I really want in life? What do I want it to look like? And then take a step forward, just one step. And if it feels like it's in the right direction, you're going in the right direction. If it feels like the wrong direction, all you have to do is navigate to that other direction.
Awesome. Kim, any last, words of encouragement?
Oh man, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you can start over at any point in your life. Just because you're 50, 60, 70 does not mean that you have to now become less than, because, we're beyond the mom years. So you can start over at any point in your life.
And I was going to say, you can always rewrite your story at any time, and basically the same thing, and that you can just continually grow and becoming who you're meant to be. So don't ever let anybody dim that. Always believe in yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you all to these phenomenal authors of this book. Thank you for leading with courage, vulnerability, and power. Congratulations. The ebook is now available. Unleash Her is more than just a collection of stories. It's a rallying cry for women everywhere to stop shrinking and start leading. Again, ebook is now available, so this is an invitation to everyone out there to join the movement. If you're ready to step into the next version of yourself with clarity, confidence, and community, go ahead and grab your copy today. Unleash Her, available in Amazon. Well, thank you so much all for joining us.
Thank you.
And I pray that you have a powerful day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.